Hey, so, yeah, I'm the guy that said I was gonna try and digitally reconstruct an entire composition from a meme. So, um, let's make some considerations as to what we've got to work with here. Yeah, I've started making notes already, but you know what? Um, we will we will cancel that, and I'm just gonna sort of use this as my notation. Started producing in class. I mean, yeah, kind of. The first thing I want to do is go over what I know, given what I'm seeing here. Now, this looks like it could be one of two things: Ableton Live or Fruity Loop Studio. Now, I am familiar with Fruity Loop Studio, and as you can see, I've already got some stuff going on here. So this is kind of what I've got here. So let me show you what I've gathered so far, right? So if we take just this, delete everything else, slap that in, and put that down there, right? That's what we have to work with so far. So if I minimize that, and then yeah, so if we okay, this is what we're gonna do. Have a look at this, right? So it's been difficult so far because I have to make considerations as to what all this stuff is, and I'm not too sure. This, I can't read this, but I can read some of this. This, I believe, is a number. This might be a number. It might be 80, but then I'm not too sure. This could also be... I don't know. This to me, yeah, if we zoom in, this is just a squiggle. But if I outline it, so if we can edit this. We can edit this. How do you edit? There we go. We can edit this. So, if I go over here, yeah, okay. So if we zoom right in, okay, check this out. That is a H, right? And it looks to me like we've got, I think, house? Maybe? Like, yeah, obviously it would be like cursive, like that's that, but to me it looks like that could be house, right? Which is good. I mean, now it just looks like horse. I don't know what that is. That, what does that say? I can't read that. But, you know, there's a few things here. House 80? Or maybe... I don't know. Maybe that's house S A. I can't make that out. But I've got house so far. So we know it's going to be some kind of house track, and given what I know about house, it's going to be somewhere in the avenues of like 115 to 130 BPM. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it 125 for now. I'm gonna call it 125 for now. It's really difficult because this I can sort of read, right? Now, if we zoom in and take our pen tool again, this is obviously kick, right? Like this could be nothing else. This, I'm assuming, says hi-hat. It just that I read hi-hat here. But then there's this. Now, originally I thought that said clap, but that's a V, right? Unless it's not. What if that's a K? Because I thought this said CLKV. And I was thinking maybe it was supposed to be clav, but it's not, and it's not clap because that's not a P. So what if this is actually click? I'm gonna try and like, what if that's click? So we've got kick, hi-hat, click, and then whatever this is. I can't read that. So I thought that might have been like bongo or something because of that, and like that. Maybe that's a B and a G. But then what's this? This I don't know. This is a massive question mark for me. This is going to be one of the hardest things. So far, this is what I got. It's going to be house music. It's going to have a kick, hi-hat, and click sample. Here's something else that's confused me. These numbers here. So I've never seen numbers like this in anything, really. Except if we bring up my own version of Fruity Loops here and take a look at it, we can put channel numbers here, right? So maybe that's just an older version of Fruity Loops. Now it would make sense to me if this was an older version of Fruity Loops and maybe the channel select was over here. That doesn't give us much more information because it doesn't look like we have any volume or pan knobs, but that could be the channel select and that's just like a really poorly drawn box. Or maybe it just doesn't have anything in it yet. Which would make sense, right? Or at least it does to me. Also, you're going to have to excuse the shuffling. I'm just going to plug my MIDI keyboard in because I haven't done that yet. You guys can see I have a launch key now. And Sonic CD samples. Okay, so yeah, my best guess is that, yeah, these are the channel selects, right? So these are these. And that to me says 2, 3, nothing, and 4. So it would be that, right? So we've got kick here, hi-hat here, and a click here. And then whatever that is. I'm assuming, actually, that might be an instrument patch of some sort. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I cannot be sure. But I'm going to take to the assumption that it's an instrument sound of some kind. So for the moment, I'm just going to keep it as FL keys because, you know, I can do some, you know, I can do a little bit of... So, you know, if I need to play something, I can. And then, you know, just all the little... So yeah, that I'm assuming this has to be an instrument of some kind. Maybe something just used for brief sampling. But it would make sense to me that this is that just flips, and we've got our channel selects there, which is that. And yeah, that makes sense to me. So this is what we have so far. House, whatever the hell that says, whatever this says, which again, for the life of me, I cannot read. And then all of this information here. So let me show you what I've got so far from all of this information. Cutting everything else out except kind of this section here, because to me it looks like this is where it loops. So this is probably a 4-bar loop, right? If we do some counts, it looks to me like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, repeat. So that's our 4-count loop, right? That's our 4-count loop. So now we have to figure out what all this stuff is. Now I'm pretty sure this is a sample. I have house keys here sampled in a similar way. It looks to me like that could be it. That could be it. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but it could be. Also got percussion here, because this looks like a percussive element. I'm thinking possibly hi-hats, though. This doesn't look... These are like natural house, sort of, you know, tropic house samples, so this is supposed to be like a shaker and something. But I'm not sure. This for sure. So if we zoom in, right, this, I am absolutely convinced this says pitch. So that would make sense to me, right? This is some kind of pitch shift element, or like a filter, maybe. Maybe it says filter, not pitch. It could be pitch or filter. It would make sense to me. And then we've got all this stuff down here. But what I've been doing, what I did so far was focus on this first. So I'm going to grab my pen tool and show you. So here's what I've been focusing on so far, or first and foremost. So this to me looks like it's kick drums, right? So that's what I had. If we silence everything else, right? If we silence everything else and just focus on what we have here. So to me, if we take what we saw before as that would be this, right? If we take away all of the open hi-hats and then copy this over, yeah, like that kind of looks like, you know, I'm seeing similarities here, but then again, this is what it sounds like in practice. I mean, this could be a build-up section. You know, part of me really wants to say that this is a build-up section, and maybe it really could be. And now that I'm looking at it more, now that I've actually said it, that would make an awful lot of sense. So, we're going with this now. This is our build-up section, right? Actually, you know what? We can forget everything else. All of that can go. We're just focusing on this here, right? So here's our build-up section. Makes sense. Okay, let's have a look at it again. We've got our kick drums sorted out. So we can cross that off the list. Actually, let me just do that because we've got that figured out now. So then what's this? Well, I'm thinking these are possibly hi-hats, but like this is so out of time, wildly out of time. Like, I was thinking, because I've got my open hat here. Here's your sort of typical house open hat sound. Yeah, which makes a lot of sense given the context, but again, here's what it sounds like in practice. And where am I going with this? Actually, wait. Yeah, no, because there was like... So it's... There's like a gap there. So it would be like that, then that. Now, that sounds okay, but what if that was a clap sound instead, right? I'm not going to go too hard into it because I've just got some claps here. So what if we replace the hi-hat with claps? That sounds more like it. That has more of a sense of correctness to it, right? Or at least it does to me. So let's figure out the rest of the crap that we're dealing with here. So we've got those down there. Okay, cool. Got that much sorted out. What are these here for, you're wondering? So these are what I'm assuming were the clicks. Now I do have other sort of, you know, click samples, but the built-in snaff, or whatever that is. Snaff? I read that as snaff. that makes sense to me. So that would be at the end here, so like that, and then in the middle here. That's what I read that as. Maybe that's not right, but that's what I'm reading that as. And then another one at the end here. Starting to sound much more like a build-up section, but to what? So that's where these come in, right? This, I was assuming, is some kind of like sampled something. I assumed house piano or an organ or something, and I just grabbed one off of Sample Focus. Here's what it sounds like. I have already slapped some edits onto it. Here I've got some reverb, delay, and flange on it. Why did I do that? You are a genius. Okay. So I don't really like those, I'll be honest. It sounds kind of out of key to me, so I was going to try and replicate it myself, which I believed was like, Stop. Shush. Where's my FL keys? There we go. Here we go. What was I going to do? Something like this. Hang on, wait. No! What is that? That was disgusting. This is what happens when you assign chords to pads. It just doesn't work. It's better you do them yourself. He says, whilst absolutely sucking at it himself. There we go. Okay, so that's what I was kind of going for. Which is good. So yeah, that works well enough. I don't know. That versus that just sounds nicer to me. Right. And then again, it could also just not be this sample at all. It might be like an organ or something. I have so many of these, like, kind of house samples. So these were all like royalty-free things. It might not be that. Could be that. Or something like that, maybe. That's really nice. I don't know, man. It could be anything. Maybe this? No, none of those sound like the right kind of thing, because I'm going by... what I'm doing is by ear trying to analyze the waveform and see if in my head it matches up with this, because this to me... Let me show you how I read this. So say this was one of these, right? One of these is one of these. So what I'm reading it as this. Right? But that sounds too fast. Unless it's not. What if that is actually the kind of pace it's supposed to be going at? It sounds too fast to me, but maybe I'm reading it wrong. Maybe it's more like something like this, maybe? That. Because you could, I guess, kind of go like that. And then that. I don't even like the sound of that piano, to be honest. Like, what if it's not that at all? What if I'm actually just crazy? But again, it doesn't match up with the waveform here. Like, that doesn't match up with this, but then I don't know what this could be. And then I was thinking, well, what if I'm wrong? Actually, what if I'm completely wrong? What if these and these aren't... what if this isn't an instrument at all? What if this is like a bass or something? It's supposed to go like... You know, I'm just thinking, could it be a bass patch? Because a bass patch would make more sense audiologically versus, you can see what I was trying to go for here. This is what it sounds like if you're wondering. But then again, it doesn't really match with... to me, it doesn't sound like that's what it is. See, because if we take a bass cut... See, that could be it, but like, it's so... It could be. That is an option. If we pitch it down, maybe? It could be. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going nuts. But to me, it looks like that could be it. So that would be the form at the top. For whatever reason, this person seems to have put the bass on top, which is fine, I guess. I mean, it works. By someone's definition, it works. Again, that just... That's my creative process so far, but then again, that does leave out a lot of information, like whatever this pitch or filter is, whatever this thing is, those which don't line up with those, despite the fact that these sound better, at least to me, whatever this is, which could be a hi-hat of some description, I don't know. We've got what I'm assuming are claps here. This is the percussive bit, the click, I guess. This, which we've already sort of come to the conclusion that it's kick drums, but it doesn't line up with that. Unless it's literally just supposed to be like proper thumping, dirty, stinking techno. Which I guess makes sense to some extent. Whatever, because we could make the excuse that's like, I just feel like maybe it should be, yeah, and that would make sense to me. Like if it was proper techno, Friday Night Funkin' style. It could be. This could be a Friday Night Funkin' track, or at least the start of it, or something. But this is, honestly, I know I was gonna be like, oh, I'll make something out of this. But man, I really don't know where else to take it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna keep it and save it and kind of see what I can do with it later. But until then, this is about as good as it's gonna get, at least, you know, from me, because I don't know what else to make of this. I really don't know how else to read what I have here, or at least what to do with what I have already. I've figured out what this is. I've done my best to try and figure that out. I mean, this is basically just a loop. This is just going to be like a really big build-up section, right? Except it looks to me like this part might be slightly different. And there's a line here. So what if I'm tripping? I don't know. To me, that looks like it could be that's our bars. That's our 4-bar. I don't know. I've still got to figure out this whole bit here. I'll see what I can do, right? But for now, hell, you know what? I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save the FLP to my. I'm gonna save the FLP to my desktop, and then we'll see, I guess. I'll save the FLP to my desktop. I'll put the samples I've used into it, like as a pack. I'll put it together as a pack, like in a zip file. And then maybe you guys can play around with it. But as for now, I really don't know what else could be done with it at this point. I'm kind of stuck, honestly. I don't know what else could be. Could that be it? Maybe that was just a build-up section. This could just be a build-up section. Maybe to a bigger song, or maybe it's the midsection of hard techno or something. But again, I read that as house, and this ain't house, at least not by my definition. This is techno, hard techno. Maybe not as hardcore as like some proper old school industrial techno, but this to me is techno. I don't know what else to do with it, to be perfectly honest, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to do much else with it as yet. Right? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave this here as a reminder to myself. I'm gonna take I don't know. I'm gonna take a crack at making a song around what I have already here. But until then, yeah, that's about as much as you're gonna get from me. I'll let you guys know if I can recreate a whole song, but for now that's about as good as it's gonna get. Maybe I'll be able to do something cool with it. Maybe not. And worst case scenario, you guys will have the FLP and some of the samples I use. Maybe you guys can make your own song with it. But until then, I'll be seeing you around. Bye.